So all the F1 cars, well, liveries, I should say, have been revealed. So it's time for me to go and rank them in my favourite to my least favourite. So a couple of things to get out of the way first. This is all my opinion. So if you don't like my opinion for whatever reason, that is perfectly fine because everyone's entitled to an opinion unless you live on the website formerly known as Twitter. So go out one halfway. And also, I say this every single year since 2021 when I've done this. I have the aesthetic appreciation of a child. So anything with bright colors is pretty much like near the top, and everything else is like at the bottom. So that should give you a slight idea of what I like in terms of a livery. I like stuff that pops essentially on the TV screen, which is why the Alpine, nice segue, is at the bottom for me. So yeah, disappointing, I think, is probably the word for Alpine, especially actually for the first two liveries I'm going to talk about. The waste potential on both of these cars is, obviously I'm not like a graphic designer. I can't design anything for my life, but I can appreciate a good livery. And for me, this just doesn't work. Mainly because it's all bare carbon fiber. Even like on the front wing, you can see that they've tried to get rid of much paint as possible because of the BWT doesn't actually stop at the end of the front wing. So you can say it's definitely they try to save weight, which is why most of these cars are all exposed carbon fiber because they're trying to save weight, which is, I don't blame Formula One teams because, shed weight off the car. It's going to go faster. A lighter car is a faster car. So, yeah. But if you had to, hold a gun to my head, I'd say that because obviously Alpine did two of these. So if you held a gun to my head and say which one's better, the pink one would probably go up a little bit more because I prefer the combination of black and pink, whereas opposed to black and blue with some pink. So that is why the Alpine's at last for me. Wasted potential. This season's liveries is really bad for just like the amount of carbon fiber that is on the car. That's just there. It should be a crime. It really should be. Just like this Alpine is. I think it's an absolute crime. One of the worst liveries I've ever seen. Next up, I don't know, I might get some shit for this, although I have seen this livery is a little bit divisive, but I think it's more on this livery actually slaps. I personally don't see it. It's from Mercedes. I like that they brought back the silver going on the nose. So this car looks very good from the front, but as the picture I've shown here, I don't like it. I think I miss the teal. Instead of going it from the bottom, it's now the top. The teal stripe, I don't like that. I prefer it when it went down and it kind of fades to black. I really like that. It did make the car pop on the side angle when you're going for like a corner or something. I just wanted a little bit more silver because then it looked like, the late 90s, early 2000s McLaren, which is like one of my favourite liveries of all time, is that colour scheme. So yeah, a little bit of wasted potential here. I like it from the front. I'm not really a big fan of anything else on this livery. I think that, maybe if Ineos had a little bit more, little bit more stake in Mercedes, because I think they own like 33% of the team. Maybe they had a little bit more red and we could have a nice red and black livery because I like the combination of red and black. Next up is the Williams, which is a bit of a downgrade if you ask me. I know some people like it. I see it, but I just wish it was a little. I think with when you go a darker blue, I would like a little bit more white so it pops out. Like the early 2010, like the 2010 early 2010s Williams. I love those liveries. Such a shame they're over the back of the grid because the dark blue and the white. Very, very nice, as my dog is just about to jump off my bed. Thank you, Teddy. Back a stat. I want this card. I'd love for this card to have a little bit more white. Obviously, it's still got the Duracell on the top of the airbox. I still don't understand why they've got a little bit of red there. I think it's for like, the British flag, which, you added red, was it 2022? And then it got scraped off, so to save weight. Yeah, I think that, the blue and the dark blue doesn't really work for me. I think if this was a light blue and then blue with white, probably would have worked a little bit more. Oh, Rothmans Williams. I wish they'd go back to that, or just like an inverse of that. Love that Rothmans Williams. But yeah, I prefer like the blue and the baby blue they had last year. I think that livery stuck out a little bit more. This one's still pretty good. I just prefer the other liveries that have come out, unfortunately, for Williams. But yeah, it's not like a bad livery. I just prefer the others. Speaking of which, next up is the modern classic at this point. It is the Red Bull. I'm not going to get into the fact that, they've stolen some stuff from Mercedes, which means that Adrian Newey's actually got the Mercedes concept to work. That's probably a topic for a whole other video, which I'm not a technical genius when it comes to F1, but yeah, but this Red Bull livery is a little bit more cleaner than it looks. A little bit more bland, but I kind of like it, because obviously like the engine cover with the shoulders, I think that kind of helps it, because actually it doesn't look as busy. I think it just looks a little bit more cleaner. Obviously it's been the same. This livery's been the same for like since 2016. So, but it's a tried and true. If it isn't broke, you don't fix it. And I think that Red Bull have found their. I think they found their livery. But it's always the same. McLaren had the same Marlboro livery for like 20 plus years. Lotus had black and gold. Then we went to camel, and then we went to black and gold again, and then it was green at one point for like half of that. So, if you're going to complain about this livery being the same, then complain about the white and red McLaren and the black and gold Lotus. But I really like this Red Bull. It looks a lot cleaner, personally, for me. Whoops. Next up is the Haas, the second car reveal. I really like this one. I actually think the more black on this works. Obviously, it's all going to be exposed carbon fiber, obviously. But I really like this one. Because I really liked Haas's livery last year, and I think this one is a little bit of an improvement, if you ask me. I like that, it's basically nearly all black now with the white. Obviously, it's not like the Rich Energy livery, which doesn't look very great. But yeah, the white with the black and the red, I really like it. It's very similar to the car that I use in my team now that my sister's finally got a car. So yeah, that's probably why I like it so much. This is the colours that I use in F1 my team now. Although slightly different, but yeah, I like this colour combination, and I personally like this livery. I like the black, and it fades the black nose, and then it's got a little bit white at the end, and then it's got the red pinstripe around it. I really like that. It's just like the little things in these liveries that I quite like. I also like the wheel covers as well. But yeah, that is the Haas. Next up, I can't even remember one. This one is the Ben 10. Oh, sorry, the steak. Sorry, Sauber. I don't care what they're calling themselves. This is going to be Sauber for the next 2 years. Fuck off with steak, honestly. But yeah, steak. I actually quite like this one. Excuse me. The only thing I don't like about it is like the zigzag pattern on the engine cover. I personally don't like that. The amount of steak sponsors that this car has is insane. You can definitely tell that actually the actual car name, even though it's still sour to me. I also like the wheel rims as well. Casino roulette table thing. It's quite nice. But yeah, the only thing I would change is I'd actually make the engine cover all green. That's pretty much the only thing I would change. I don't like the zigzag pattern personally. But say goodbye to all those state stickers like sponsors when they go to a country that has banned gambling, or has a heavily restrictions on gambling. But yeah, this is definitely going to pop on screen. But yeah, the very big bright neon green, I'm not really a big fan of it personally. It definitely pops, I will say that, but I just prefer the other liveries, which is probably surprising. You think this car will be high considering I have the aesthetic appreciation of like a 7-year-old, but yeah, there's just certain stuff about this livery I just think could be a little bit better for me, like painting the engine cover and maybe tone down the green a little bit. But apart from that, it's all right. Next up is the Aston Martin. I think this one's just going to become a classic. Barely changed from last year. It still works. Like I said with the Red Bull, if it's not broken, you don't fix it. But Brideriser, this one's got a load of carbon fibre on it. This one has carbon fibre in the right places, because you can barely see it. As you can see with the photo I've selected, which is probably going to be how you see the car. It's on the top of the side pod. It's on the top of the side pods. It's on the floor, and it's on the front and the rear wing. That is perfectly fine. This just looks good. Black halo, completely fine. This car just looks good, apart from the top, but you're not going to see it from the top most of the time. So, yeah. Again, classic livery. Just wish they had a little bit more of that lime green, personally. I think that, that would be quite nice to see. But it still works. It's going to be, if Aston Martin stays long term, unless they change their name again, this could end up being, similar to Red Bull, a modern classic. Next up, going into the top 3 now, is the McLaren, the first one to be revealed. And my God, I despised McLaren. I watched my 2023 livery rankings video. I really didn't like this livery. I think it was too busy. I don't know why they had the blue, but they finally got rid of the blue, and this actually looks a lot cleaner. Not a big fan of the chrome numbers, because you're not going to be able to see them, unfortunately. But, Oscar and Lando, they've got nice helmets, so you can distinguish them from that instead, which is perfectly fine. But this one, my God, looks very similar to... It's got the same, diagonal lines as the white and red McLaren, which I talked about them having that for God knows how many years when I was talking about the Red Bull. But yeah, finally gotten rid of the blue. It looks doesn't look as busy with the sponsors. I still wish they would get rid of that Google Chrome sponsorship on the engine cover. I think it looks stupid. But that's the only thing I would really change. Orange and black slaps. Absolutely slaps. And I actually quite like the wheel covers, or wheel rims, or whatever you want to call them. I actually kind of grown to like them now. But yeah, this livery, I really like this livery. Hopefully McLaren stick with this one now. I think they will, unless they want to, do like an IndyCar and just have orange and white or orange and blue, or whatever they want to do with the livery. But this one slaps. Next up is the Visa Cash App. Can I take all your money? Hand in the check here. Red Bull, whatever your name is, team. This livery is so cool. It is so reminiscent of the Toro Rosso from 2017 to 2019. I love that livery so much. So they've brought back the blue of that, almost bordering on purple in some shots. And it's also got the silver Red Bull. It's got the silver Visa, and it's got the white, and it's got the red. I love this livery. I thought, yeah, this is so nice. This is tasty. They're barely any carbon fibre. The only bit is just where the red pinstripe stops, just below the side pod. That's it. Obviously the front and rear wing as well, but they're fine as being black. Excuse me. But yeah, it's just the little bit of the hints, the bits of white as well, I think they work. Weren't too big on them at first, but I thought, actually, no, these kind of work. I also like the design of the numbers as well for Yuki and Daniel. I really, really love them. But yeah, this livery is nice. I really like this one. But by process of elimination, And no, I am a slightly biased, but you know, a lot of people saying this livery is gorgeous. Coming in number one, it's for Ferrari. Oh, this is very, very nice. This is some good stuff. You know, Ferrari, we all know it's going to be red, apart from when, like in the 60s, when they ran it in white and blue for complicated reasons. They've still got, if I just move my camera down, they've still got the Ferrari on the rear wing, which I'm perfectly fine with. I love that addition when they brought it back for Monza 2022, and then they stuck with it last year. I hope that stays for a very long time. I love that. I love the front wing where it just sort of like it bleeds, the nose comes down the red, bleeds into the rear wing. Not the rear wing, the front wing. Love that. Wheel covers, oh my god, they're very, very nice. The white and the orange, not the orange and yellow pinstripe to, go to heart back to the Le Mans win. Love that. I don't think it's quite the same shade as yellow, but yeah, red halo as well. This car just looks so good. You can't go wrong with a Ferrari when it's red. Really, that much at all. Yeah, I love this car. I love this so much. Hopefully, Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz, they are up there fighting, because I love seeing a Ferrari at the top, because I'm a massive Ferrari stan. No, I'm not a stan, I'm a fan. There's a big difference there. Anyway, I'm going to end this video here. Hope you enjoyed it. If you liked this video, feel free to like it. If you disliked it because I put your favourite livery at the bottom or near the middle and not at number one, I'm sorry, I'm allowed an opinion, unfortunately, despite what many people probably say I shouldn't be. But yeah, if you enjoy this video, check out some of my other content on this channel. And if you like other content I do on my channel, like I do Formula 1, mainly MCU Marvel Contest Champions, but I sprinkle a bit of F1 here and there, and just a drop of commentary videos here and there as well. So I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.